And how's that for a confident and delightful fade? Hello, everyone, and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everybody. Good Monday, and hello. I know what day of the week it is. Look at me. Anyways, I hope everyone is well. Turnip, thank you very much for the lurk. Joe, thank you very much for the lurk. And Sledge, my dearest darling, thank you very much for subbing for 47 months. Oh my goodness. That is very nearly a year. And you know, that was a sub. And what happens when people sub is that our TTS lady reads out the things that they say. And our TTS lady is a lady named Nicole. And Nicole, the TTS lady, is a wombat. And she's finally getting her own emote. Here she is. Here's her little sketchy do. Here's me trying to figure out how the heck you draw a wombat. She's wearing dungarees. And I've tried to keep things relatively... It might end up just being, like, part of it, depending on how it looks when it's, like, emote size. This is the hard thing about emote design, is that they have to read well when they're, like, super small, and it's quite difficult. But we're gonna try our best with TTS Nicole here. And it might end up being sort of a crop of this image, and we'll do something else with this image. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! Something's missing! Something is missing! Oh no! The stream is broken! The stream is broken! I'm so sorry, everyone. I am so sorry. I did not even notice that something is wrong with the stream. And that is that you can't see me. But now you can. Hi, everybody. That's better. I feel much better now. Now that I'm visible. Hello. Anyways, I hope you're all having good Mondays. I am certainly having a day. It's been a day, and I'm happy to be here. Anyways, I knit hard to chat and knit, says Joe. That's fair. I hope you're having a lovely time knitting. I love that for you. If you ever have any projects that you want to share with the class, we'd love to see them. But no pressure, obviously. I'm very happy for you that you're making a thing. That's really, really cool. And I hope you have a fun time. Silly, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. I will hydrate. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because my coffee is here and it's not quite so scalding hot as my tea because I made it slightly earlier. I hope you're having a lovely Monday and it's lovely to see you. Hello. I don't think anyone requested this other than me. Okay, so background information for anyone who is new here. This is the Twitch stream, and on Twitch stream we have these little emotes that we can use in chat. And I've got a bunch of them, and I've got a bunch of them that are like super old, and I feel like I could make better or make different ones. Maybe ones that people will like better or use more than the older ones that are kind of, well, a few years old, shall we say. And I feel like my art style and my ability to figure out what to do with what to do with emotes has kind of moved forward since I made those. And so I want to do some new things and make it interesting and cool and do things that people will like and want to use, that kind of thing. I don't know how to do that because I am genuinely one of the worst people at figuring out what other people will like and then catering to that. Either I figure, you know, in the case of just sort of like general popular interests, I might figure out, oh, people really like this. Oh, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to do something else. And then when it comes to things like my stream or my artwork, it's more like, okay, what do people like? And then it's just crickets and question marks, and I'm kind of on my own trying to sort of flounder about guessing and getting it wrong. So, I don't know, maybe people will like a cuddly little wombat who's reading some stuff. I don't know. Anyways, Silly wants to know about coffee. Okay. I can't remember what coffee this is. For starters, I think is it Mexican? It might be Mexican. Anyways, I don't remember what coffee this is. So I'm just going to try and find a topic inside my head, unless you have a specific question about coffee that you want to ask, in which case I'm very happy to answer it, but I'm also just happy to ramble. Uh, what shall I say? Okay, temperature. Temperature! So we all know, I think, the difference between sort of hot brewing coffee, which is the traditional method, and cold brewing coffee, which is immersion brewing it over a very, very long period of time in cold water, but a bit more of a kind of specific technical thing that I don't tend to bother with that much is what is your water temperature precisely when you brew coffee with it, because you can get very specific and kind of dial in, and some people get very granular about, like, this is a lighter roast, so I want to be brewing it at this temperature, versus this is a darker roast, so I can push the temperature up a little bit. I don't do that because, I'm tired, and those variable temperature kettles that tell you what temperature your water is are really expensive. But, like, if you want to get that specific about getting the absolute 100% best out of your coffee, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head as to what the ideal temperatures are for different, like, roast types, but there are different ideal brewing temperatures for different roast types. So if that's the kind of thing you want to get super nerdy about, you can super do that. But Silly just wants to know what color it is. Well, this one in particular, which is, I think it's a washed Mexican coffee, if memory serves, that I brewed on a V60 filter brewer. And it's kind of brownish. I would say it's quite brownish. I mean, in terms of the color that coffee actually produces when you brew it, it varies depending on a variety of factors. How well brewed is it? How strong is the coffee? Yada, yada, yada. But usually it's some variation on brown. If it's like really, if it looks like a weak cup of tea, it's probably not going to be a very good cup of coffee. And if it's like, if it feels thick and kind of, if it feels like palpably thick, depending on the type of brew it is, your filter might have burst in brewing. Unless it's something like a Turkish coffee, in which case the grounds are at the bottom of the cup, and that's the intention. Anyways, hello, Lux. Welcome in. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Lux says, Viva Mexico! I agree. Lux says, Vive le Canada! I also agree. That is all. Thank you, Lux. Thank you for those wise words. I appreciate it. And I hope you're having a beautiful day. Also, I don't know, I guess Vive la Australia, because we're painting a wombat. Incidentally, the flower that she's wearing, that she's got on her head there as a little decoration, is an Australian daisy, because it felt appropriate, and I think they're cute. So, anyways, words that relate to nothing in the international news. Lux, I have not looked at it today for my mental health. Because if I pay too much attention to the horrors, I will cease to be able to function as a human being. I'm depressed enough as it is. Things are fine. Yup. Okay. Anyways. I'm trying my best. Anyway. It is a weird experience. I watched so much CBC News Network on the weekend. Oh god, why did you do that to yourself, Lux? Why? I mean, listen. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the CBC logo, or at least an attempt to recreate the CBC sort of pizza logo thing out of Legos. But I was just saying to my mum over our weekly Skype call on the weekend that I do not seek out the news anymore, because I can't do it. I can't do it. I try and keep abreast of the important things, which are, by and large, what can I do about it? And I try to action those things. But I try not to... Lux? That's not very nice. Anyways, I'm gonna paint my wombat. Anywho. It's from the set. You have to know. I don't know that meme. I just thought you were suddenly being very rude. Which I figured was a reference to something, but I don't know it, so I wasn't sure. Because, you know, listen. It is amazing the number of things that... This is one of the things... Okay, actually, you know, now this is a real teaching moment, I think. Because, oftentimes, maybe this is just me, but I am terminally online. I'm on the internet, like, most of the time that I'm awake in a day. And the amount of stuff that I am not aware of that's apparently, like, ubiquitous memes or songs everyone knows, or things that are just, like, everyone is quoting this thing. And I will have no idea. And that's because the internet is ubiquitous as, like, things on the internet seem. Oftentimes, your experience of what is all over the internet is so incredibly siloed. Like, if I were to guess solely based on my experience of the internet what is the thing everybody is talking about and knows about, it's just people posting clown emojis about trying to manifest the season 3 renewal revival of TV's Our Flag Means Death. Because that's everywhere for me. And God, I wish it comes true, but you know? If it's songs, I have no idea. Oh, Lux, there was a word puzzle I did the other day, and all of the answers were the names of, like, award-winning musical artists, and I was like, who? I was like, what? Okay. I'm sure they're good. Good luck with that. Congratulations to thems, I guess. But, was none the wiser. Who knows? Dolly, what? I mean, okay. I am nominally familiar with those three, at least. But apart from that, there is a pop singer who I understand is popular, whose music, like, I haven't gone out of my way not to hear, but oh boy, have I just not. And the only thing that I know about her is that she's very short, and she's the niece of one of the voice actors on The Simpsons. And, like, suddenly she was everywhere as, like, super pop. Sabrina Carpenter, that's her name. When I heard of her, I was like, oh! Because I just assume any meteorically suddenly famous person I have now heard of is probably the product of some kind of nepotism. So I looked her up to be like, is she related to the Carpenters? Because I know the Carpenters. I feel like I'm dating myself, like, excessively here, saying that I know the Carpenters. But, And then I found out, oh no, she is related to someone famous, but she's related to person of unrelated surname who is one of the voice actors from The Simpsons, but I think it's either Bart or Lisa, but I can't remember if it's Bart or Lisa. If anyone knows, please let me know. Not that it matters at all, but like, one of those various white women who are indistinguishable. At some point, they all look the same. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. Anyways, oh god. Anyways, we've only just begun. Yep. I've only just begun to stream, and I'm not painting yet. Again, to reiterate, for anyone who doesn't know, the text-to-speech voice on this stream is an Australian wombat who looks like this. Her name is... It's Bart! Thank you, Lux! Nancy Cartwright, the voice... famously of Bart Simpson, is the auntie of that singer who I just, that was such a fun curveball for me because I just assumed based on the surname, it's related to famous people of same surname, and it turns out, no, related to famous person of completely different surname. Hey Aoife, welcome in. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you, and welcome. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I assumed, John Carpenter of the horror films. Is he related to the Carpenters? I mean, I guess it's a relatively common surname, but I also don't know. That would be a weird coincidence / nepotism. I don't know how much being related to, like, the Carpenter musicians gets you in terms of horror films and vice versa. But anyways, I hope y'all are having beautiful days. As I said, I've been having a weird day. I was thinking about writing that I can't talk about much. I'm thinking about some deadlines that have passed that I haven't finished the things I needed to do for because my brain is sad, and when my brain is sad, it gets overwhelmed and it gets even harder to do things. At which point I feel guilty about the fact that I haven't done the things, and that makes me feel even more sad, and that makes it even harder to do the things. So you girl gender neutral is running late on a couple of things, which I'm not feeling too sexy about. But we are going to paint this emote, so at least that's something. I feel like I'm getting sick, says Aoife. Oh no, which might be from the cold, but might very well just be me partying. Like I was half my age on the weekend too, or probably a comedy. Yeah, you know, I think sometimes feeling sick symptoms are just tired. Like it might just be tired. I hope that you're not coming down with something, but I definitely feel more in the way of symptoms when I'm tired specifically. I think your body is just like, yeah, I don't have it in me to have antibodies anymore. Come on in, everybody. White blood cells just give up. Anyways, Lux says, oh god, I've been perma-sick for the last month. Oh my god, seriously. I am so sorry, and I very much hope that you feel better soon. I say this as, oh my god, because genuinely, the number of people, including myself, that I have known, who between sort of like just after Christmas and now, spent like a solid month just being sick and feeling like absolute boo-boo garbage. The whatever it is that's going around, and apparently it's going around in multiple countries, is just, I don't know. It sucks, and it won't stop, and I don't like it. I just, you know, I saw somebody the other day saying that January was a very tough year, and I completely agree. January just absolutely kicked my butt. And I feel like I'm not quite out of it yet, but, I don't know, I'm working on it, but it still sucks. Anyways. But yeah, this is what TTS Nicole looks like. This is my attempt at drawing a wombat. Wombats don't normally sit upright in this way that I've found in photos, but I thought it would be really cute if she did, and also I know how to draw
Attention.
that, so that's what we did.
Sammy Kelch.
Oh my goodness!
Shoppers.
Oh my goodness gracious, stars and garters and all that jazz. Hello, Sammy Ann, and hello, Raiders. Welcome in. Hello, you're just in time for fresh emote time. I hope you had a lovely stream. What'd you get up to, Sammy Ann? It's lovely to see you. And welcome in. Let me get a shout out for you in chat. Sammy Ann, art. There we go. Yay! Let the art venture continue. Aw, thank you so much for the raid. For anyone who's new here and is just coming in, hello, and welcome. My name's Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and every once in a while on a Thursday as well. I am finally have some time to work on some fresh emotes for the stream. So we're doing a little portrait of our TTS lady, who is a wombat named Nicole. And she is, you know, as far as wombats go, I think very good at being, like, literate. And I love that for her, and I love that for us. So I thought I'd give her some proper official artwork and then maybe try and turn it into some kind of emote. Does anyone want that as an emote? I don't know. Because I genuinely don't know what kind of emotes people want, but I feel like people like a good emote situation, so we're doing one. There's a few emotes that I want to refresh, but I'll see about that. Ooh, Sammy says we started doing some fan art for February. Very nice. Today was a spring Pikachu with some floral Pokemon friends. That sounds super cute. And as always, you know the drill because you've been here before, but if there is anything you'd like to share, whether it was what you were working on today or something on your socials, feel free to whisper me a link and I'd be very happy to accept your art tax. But as always, also, this is an art tax optional stream, so please don't feel any pressure to to find stuff or do things or share if you don't feel like it. It is all good. I'm just happy you're here, and I think everyone should give you a follow if they have not. So let me get another shout out for Sammy in the chat. There we go. Yay! And in case anyone's curious as to what my artwork looks like when it's done, which you might be for some reason, I don't know. Let me pull up my little Instagram if I can get it to load. And wow, every time I post a new picture to Instagram, I lose a follower. I assume that's just because people are leaving Instagram, or the bots that follow me have been nuked. I genuinely don't know, but the number's gone down by like 20 since the top of the year, so feeling real good about myself. The self-esteem engine is chugging along in the wrong direction. Anyways, this is the most recent thing that I posted. It is a little very extremely historically accurate and meticulously well-researched 18th century breakfast where, yes, one of them is wearing a crop top. What of it? Anyways. Sammy, that's so dear. Sammy, you are a fabulous Insta-lurk. Y'all get on that train. Thank you, Sammy. That's very kind of you to say. You are a fabulous Insta-lurk. I love your Instagram. I love the arts that you make. If you're not familiar with Sammy Ann's work, it is purest whimsy of the loveliest variety, and it makes me very, very happy to see every time that Sammy Ann shares something new. So, there you go. Anyways. But yeah, this is TTS Nicole. I'm using I haven't used this paint pan set in quite a while. But it has, I think, a fairly good representative set of colors for what I need to do today, and they're quite nice and bold colors, which for something like an emote,
attention.
You want
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Shoppers.
Never mind. Hello, Holly. Welcome in. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid, and it's lovely to see you. Welcome. Holly, how was your stream? What'd you get up to today? It is lovely to see you. Hello to Happy and Adequate Coder and Fraggle Rock and Sonia Jones and Andy and Holly. Hello, friends. How are you doing? Let me get a shout out for Holly in the chat. Welcome in. Fraggle Rock, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Imaginary Holly. I can spell. Or at least I can try. There's a shout out for Holly. If you're not following Holly, you can go do that there. Holly was doing some crochet today. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. I love crochet. I don't get to do as much crochet as I'd like to, but I have dreams. So I shall live vicariously through you for the moment. As always, if there's anything that you want to share with us, feel free to whisper a link in my direction. I'd be very happy to share it with the class. But in the meantime, no pressure as well. If you just want to chill, that's fine too. Sammy has pulled up some chairs so y'all can get cozy. Thank you, Sammy. That's very sweet of you. For anyone who's new here and doesn't know me, hello, friends. My name's Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays, and I do cozy game streams on Friday mornings and every once in a while on a Thursday as well. And we're just refreshing some emotes on our stream, so we are painting our little TTS voice lady, who is a little Australian wombat named Nicole, and right now she looks like this in the sketch, and hopefully she looks even cuter when she's done, but whom's to say? I have some audio editing to do, so I'll be lurking for a bit, says Holly. That is awesome, and thank you very much again for the raid. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Sammy Ann's has got some cleanup and packing to do. I'll enjoy with lurking as well. You shall keep me company as you stream. Thank you very much, Sammy Ann, and have a lovely time as well. Thank you both, and thank you for the lurk. And let's get another shout out for Holly in the chat. So you can go hit that follow button if you would like to. Holly is lovely and does some very cool artsy crafty stuff. Very fun. Anyways. Here's another representative artwork of mine for anyone who hasn't seen what my finished artwork looks like. It's super normal. It's so normal of me. Here are some gay hamsters from the 19th century, as you do. I don't know. I like weaving my interest in history into my artworks, but in like the gayest ways possible, I guess. So these are two hamsters who, they never married, and they lived pretty much their entire lives in a little one-bedroom cottage together, and historians believe they must have been the very, very best of friends. There's a giant painting of a violet in their sitting room. And oh my god, they're roommates. They're absolutely dating. Anyways, but that couple is A, I just think it's cute, but B, also very much intended to be sort of a send up of every time that, like, this historical figure is obviously queer, and then historians are like, whoa, I don't know, and it's like, your plausible deniability feels real Christina Ricci to me there, bud. Anyways. But yes, hello. My point, and I did have one, is it's emote day. There are a few emotes that I feel like don't really get a lot of use, partially because they're probably not that interesting, and partially just because they're really old, and I feel like I've learned things about how to make an emote that feels effective at a smaller size more now than, you know, when I started streaming over 4 years ago, because I celebrated my 4-year stream anniversary like a couple weeks ago, which is still wild to me that I've been here for that long. But yeah, anyways, how is everyone's Monday going? How were your weekends? What'd you get up to? I'm trying to think if I have anything interesting that I can share from my weekend, because I genuinely don't remember. I also have no paint water, so I can't start painting because I need to go get paint water. So I'll be back in just a second. Bear with. I'm so sorry. I feel like I recently had a really good idea for a new sticker sheet that I wanted to do, and it's just completely fled my memory. But if I remember what it was, then I'll definitely do it. I don't use these paints a lot anymore. I feel like partially because I have other watercolors that I actually think are better than these, because these were like my go-to for a really, really long time. But they are kind of weird. I do appreciate that they really don't lift at all when you, like, layer them. Or not much anyways, but, and that's nice. But, in other ways I feel like they're not really my favorites to work with these days. But I think as far as the colors of them go, I think they'll be really useful for this piece. I am looking up some, reference photos of what an actual wombat looks like. Oh, poor wombats. Wombats are an interesting little creature, but one thing to note about wombats is that, like, the things that are the most, I think, remarkable and strange about wombats are their butts and their poop. And so that tends to be what they're known for. They have what look like very sort of like soft, squishy, fluffy bottoms, but they're the, like, bone structure of their bottom is actually very strong. They use it as, like, a defense mechanism against predators, which is wild. And also, for reasons I can't quite remember, their poops are cube shaped. So yeah, interesting creatures. But, yeah, Vampire, hi, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. I hope you're having the loveliest of lovely days. Very good to see you, and hello. Okay, I'm going to pull up some references. Cloak and Coffee, thank you very much for the follow. What a lovely combination of things. Very good to see you. Welcome on in. Okay, I'm pulling up some wombat pictures, mostly because I want a reference for what sort of the color of wombat fur is, more or less. It's a very soft, subtle, kind of muted brown, I would say. Oh my god, I do think they are very cute, though, my goodness. They are incredibly cute. Let me pull up just a nice picture for y'all to look at that is a wombat. Ah, why did that open another window? Get back in. No, get back in there so I could so I can share it with the class. I got left behind in the Holly raid, says Cloak and Coffee. Well, I'm glad that you're here now. Hello, hello. It's going well so far, says Vampire. I'm very glad to hear it. And Sweet Like Sugar says, the more you know. I know, right? Interesting facts. Or at the very least, definitely facts. Anyways, this is a real wombat. Aren't they precious? They do just look like incredibly soft, fluffy, adorable little creatures. And I do think that they're very cute. But they also have some interesting secrets, it turns out. But hopefully this is a good reference for me for getting sort of a good set of colors together for the fur. It's a very sort of mottled appearance of the fur, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to recreate that, because this is intended to eventually become an emote, so we don't want it to be super overcomplicated. Like, if I make it, like, super naturalistic, it's going to look really weird and stupid when it's, like, extremely tiny. So you kind of have to take that into account when you are, when you're trying to decide what detail to include, what detail to economize on. Okay, so the browns that I have are much brightness of brown feels like an incorrect way to put it, but they are much brighter browns than I need. So if I pull in a load of this brown and then I add something sort of complementary to it to try and chillax it a little bit, we'll get something where I added way too much of the complement and now it looks really just kind of muddy and like a greenish gray. Oh, good. Well, it may take a couple of passes of adding a bit of this and a bit of that before we get the right color, but that's on the right track. It's just a little bit too much in the opposite direction. So if I bring back a little bit more of this lighter brown color, which I do have the little, they give you these little palette sheets, which I find singularly unhelpful with these paint sets, because it is just, it's not painted on, it's just they printed the colors onto this piece of kind of plasticky paper, and I feel like it doesn't quite capture what the colors properly look like in some cases. Like the burnt yellow ochre looks redder than it actually is. Natural brown looks really like washed out for some reason compared to how it actually looks. Racing green looks a little bit sort of muted. The mango is too dark. The red is too light. The plum is way too dark. These two are a mess. The yellow is too greenish. Black is more or less fine. And the teal is okay. And kiwi's pretty spot on, but I don't find these useful except for knowing what the names of the colors are. So this is burnt yellow ochre, actually, which I keep calling brown. But I mean, it is. It's a lighter brown. So, whatever. But I want to put a little bit more of that back into this color, which I feel like is just making it look a little bit gross. Yay! Maybe I need more of the natural brown as well. Eventually we will get there. This is like one of the most tedious bits, I think, of doing a paint. But also that I find quite relaxing is just mixing colors together until something looks good. I'm gonna kind of cheat this a little bit and use a slightly more vibrant shade of brown than she would be IRL, just because I think it will read a little bit more nicely. But other than that, I am gonna try and keep it looking fairly wombat-esque. There's a lot of fluffy fur in the cheeks, so it tends to be a little bit lighter there. So we'll try and achieve that. We'll see how we get on. I will probably want to layer this up a bit. But this'll do for starters. Anyways, hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I'm trying to remember what I did this weekend. I made quinoa salad for dinner last night. This night, tonight rather, this night, what the hell, is Meatball Monday, so we're having corn Swedish meatballs because they happen to have them at the supermarché. Corn Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes and gravy and some vegetables. Normally I would have some lingonberry sauce with that, but we didn't have any lingonberry sauce, and I couldn't find any lingonberry sauce at the supermarket because unfortunately we don't live in Sweden and we're not anywhere near an IKEA, so I can't just like get the IKEA stuff. Which is unfortunate. Anyways, I'm just grateful that there are Swedish meatballs that I can eat because they're really nice. I don't know if this is cheating and wrong, but I like using the veggie Swedish meatballs. I like pairing them with like spaghetti or like not necessarily spaghetti, but like pasta meatball situation. I like a pasta meatball situation with the veggie Swedish meatballs. I know that in Italy they wouldn't be using Swedish meatballs, but hear me out, Swedish meatballs are really good. So, oh well. Anyways, I haven't worked with this paint in a really long time, so trying to remember how it behaves is turning out to be interesting because it does sit, it's like absorbing into this paper so differently to the watercolors that I've been using lately. They do say that it is an ink-like watercolor, so that, that tracks. But also, oh wow, this feels really weird. But hopefully it'll look okay when it's done. I shall try anyways. Anywho, what else did I do this weekend? I think I played a lot of Stardew Valley. I have Stardew Valley on my phone to my extreme detriment because I keep using it. And my moderator/spouse is home. Yay! That's not something that happened this weekend. That's happened just this very second. So I'm going to go say hi to him back in a second. Hello, darling. Oh, hi. My coat still smells like ombre leather and I'm really mad about it. What am I going to do? You stinky. Not fair. Hi, sunshine. How was your day? Okay. You smell nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. I missed you. Welcome home.
Did you see my
Which one?
start the stream?
The sub? Yeah, I did. I responded to it at length.
Okay, well I missed all that.
Oh, okay. Well, sweetheart, thank you very much for the sub, honey. I really appreciate it.
I got that in and
Thank you. I was just acknowledging the fact that earlier on in the stream, my moderator/spouse continued his sub, which I am very much appreciative of. Love you. Anyways, the other thing that's going on, in case you missed it from last week, so I have a coat that is currently hanging on the door frame because we are having a problem with this coat, and the problem that I'm having with this coat is that over a week ago now, I tested a little sample of a perfume that I had received, thinking, this might be a nice smell. I might enjoy this smell. I did not enjoy the smell. And the worst part about the fact that I didn't enjoy the smell is that the smell has fully clung and stuck to my beautiful winter coat and will not leave. And I do not want to keep smelling it. It's like, it's not a terrible smell in and of itself, but it's very much not as a perfume, I don't think it suits me particularly well. And, it's going to clash with other fragrances that I do have on, whether that's just, like my shampoo, which is rose scented, or if I choose to wear another fragrance. It's not going to pair super well with those. And I can't get rid of it. Hello, sunshine. Oh, thank you, babe. My husband has picked up an essential grocery on his way home, and I am grateful. Anyways, I am noticing now, this paint is looking quite, I don't know, splodgy. I'm not liking the texture that it's giving to this. That, again, might be less of an issue when it's in sort of tiny form. But I don't love it. Oh no. Maybe it's really meant for, like, less very sort of light washes like this, because it does have the texture of the brush stroke is really coming through in places where I really would rather it didn't. That's interesting. It's not awesome, but it's interesting. And now I know anyways. But again, this is for an emote, so, like, as long as it reads good when it's super, super tiny, that's kind of the most important thing. What I might do... Now, supposedly it is permanent once it, like, dries down, but I'm wondering whether or not, while it's still wet, if I'm able to kind of shift it at all. And get a bit of a fade onto these cheeks. Because the cheeks, I think, want to be slightly lighter in color than the rest, because oftentimes they are a little bit, because they're, like, extra fluffy. And I would love to capture that feeling of floofy little cheeks a little bit. It is kind of working, actually. It is kind of working. So that's good. Okay. But so far this is looking real scruffy, but I think once we've got, like, everything in place, I think it'll start to look better. I'll let this dry down, and then we'll do, like, shading and stuff. I made way too much brown paint, by the way. Oh, no. Anyways. In case anyone's curious, I did mention today's coffee earlier, which is a delicious, I think, if memory serves, it's Mexican, brewed on the V60, washed coffee from a roastery that is local to my city of residence called New Ground Coffee. They're very good. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. And my tea, because of course I have multiple beverages, because I can't just have one beverage, that would be dangerous, is mint. It is a blend of spearmint and peppermint. And the mug that it's in, you can't see very well because I can't really show the camera, but it's got little pictures of doggies on it because I like doggies. Honey cousins. Okay. So. I think next should probably do TTS Nicole's Lil Blue Dungarees. So I will make a denim-y blue here. Now, do I want to use the ultramarine blue or do I want to use the bright? I think I want to use the ultramarine blue, which, despite how bright and dark it looks on this palette, she is really underpigmented. Like, ultramarine, more like the least marine. It takes so much effort to actually get an amount of paint out of it. Like, I wanted to add a little bit of black to that to kind of make it a slightly darker denim color, and it just fully overtook the blue, like, instantly. There we go. That's a reasonable denim color. It's nice and kind of understated, I think. So we'll go ahead with that. I've been trying to apply more, like, color theory to my work lately. So thinking about, like, if you want to create a shadow for something, a good way to make it, to make the color feel a little bit more shadowy, a little bit more understated, is to just add a little bit of its complement. But you also have to think really hard about what are the, like, undertones of the color that you're using. Because, like, oh, I'm using yellow, so I want to use, like, the inverse of yellow, which would be, like, a purpley situation or something. And then you do, and you find that actually it's not really making the brown that you expected because you're using more of an orangish yellow than a greenish yellow. And so sometimes it's not really easy to tell until you see it kind of in context whether or not it's really more of an orangish yellow or a greenish yellow. Or you might think that it's like a straight ahead yellow, but actually there is something in it that is giving it a bit of that subtle undertone. Paints are fun. The other thing that I've been thinking of doing that I'd like to do possibly at some point soon on stream, because I saw it on YouTube and it looked really cool, is to do a painting with just using 2 colors to create the piece. I think that could be quite fun. I've done a lot of pieces where I just use a color, but 2 colors is an interesting, fun challenge as well, I think. I think that would be quite interesting and quite cool. And to just get a little bit more loose and kind of doot around and do a bit of, like, experimenting and have fun with it. I really feel like I ought to be using my sketchbooks more. I think that I kind of resolved to try and use my sketchbooks more, like, a little while ago. And then I didn't. And part of the reason that I didn't, I think, is that, it's like comparing yourself to others' syndrome, where it's become quite trendy and quite fashionable for all of us to, like, share your sketchbook, do sketchbook tour videos and sketchbook tour photos and stuff. And I think that's really, really neat and cool, and I love to see it. But then you see all of these sketchbooks where everything you see looks like a perfect, beautiful, completed piece of artwork. You see a sketchbook where, like, it's just a bunch of, like, flawless, like, Bob Ross landscape paintings, and that's where they put their sketches, supposedly. And when you're the kind of person who would love to be able to use a sketchbook to actually just, like, get get yourself warmed up a bit, or, use it to kind of brainstorm compositions for paintings, or to just try and figure out, outside of the context of a finished art piece, like, hey, I've never drawn this object or creature before. How do I specifically, not how does one, how do I specifically draw that thing in a way that makes sense with the rest of my sort of artistic aesthetic? And I'd like to have more of a space to do that and to feel comfortable doing that. And I have trouble feeling comfortable doing that because I'm like, but if I share this with anyone, it has to look good. Because, like, I already feel, fairly inadequate about my artwork as a whole a lot of the time anyways. And to kind of add on to that with, like, here's my sketchbook where my art is even worse than my regular art feels like a heady amount of pressure to me. Especially when it feels like every other sketchbook that you see on the interwebs is, like, just full of the most beautiful artworks you've ever seen. I don't know. I wish more people shared their ugly sketchbooks, I suppose, or their, like, rough sketchbooks. Or am I just, is that just what other people's ugly artwork looks like? And I'm just even worse than I think, And I don't think that's the case. I know, like, a lot of artists really do have sketchbooks where they put, just scribbles or, like, warm-ups where they're just, getting their hands and wrists and arms used to the motion of drawing. So they're just doing, like, random shapes and just, practicing different, like, facial expressions and doing all kinds of stuff. And that has long since been recognized as a really important aspect of doing art, is having space to do things that don't need to be perfect. And I think sometimes that the pressure to kind of share everything and for everything that you share to be of a certain caliber of quality is kind of damaging to that potentially. But I don't think I'm large enough or good enough to combat that in a meaningful way. Because ultimately, if I share ugly sketchbook drawing pages, people will just see that and be like, wow, that's ugly, I don't like it, and then scroll away. So what good does that do anyone? I don't know. I have no solutions for this. Life is pain. That's it. My solution is la vida es dolor. But at least we have TTS Nicole to read out our subs and bit messages. With her adorable little wombat voice, and we love her very much. I'm going to take a quick little breaky break, because the Twitch is telling me I have to, and I could use a little break. So take this opportunity to hydrate yourself, have a little stretch, do all that jazz. I will be back in just a few minutes, so don't leave if you don't want to, and you're not going to miss anything. Here's the BRB screen, and a BRB, everybody. Enjoy the BRB song. Hello friends, I'm back. Hi. Thank you so much for waiting. It's lovely to be back. And welcome back. Hello. It's wombat painting time. So yeah, as alluded to earlier, wombats, despite their very soft appearance, do apparently have incredibly strong butts, specifically. Like the like bone structure of their butt is incredibly strong. And according to an article I read in Australian Geographic, it is theorized that they use their butts as a method of self-defense by, I don't know, potentially just like sitting on predators' heads with them. Which is wild. But hey, that's wilderness. Nature is beautiful, isn't it? It's just so beautiful. You can learn so many interesting things about animals' butts. I don't know. Anyways, hello again. I'm back. Thank you for sticking around. It's nice to be back. And it's nice to be painting this little creature. One thing to note about this, because it's an emote, normally I'll do like line weight on my pieces that is in similar colors to the piece itself. Like, so I'd use like a brown but darker for the fur, and then like a very dark blue for the dungarees, etc., etc. I'm not doing that here. I'm just using this fine liner in a fairly thicker than I would normally use thickness, because since it's an emote, experience tells me that I need some really nice bold outlines. Otherwise it doesn't read very well. And also oftentimes need to kind of bump up the colors more than I would for like a regular sized piece rather. So that's something I am attempting and not doing a great job of bearing in mind at the moment, I think. But I also need a very, very light purple color for the petals of TTS Nicole's little flower here, which is an Australian daisy. I think wants to be a slightly bluer shade of perp. But now that's a very dark blue shade of perp. Ah, heck. Ah, heck. So I'm going to want to water that down just a little bit, because this is quite a bold paint. But we do also want it, again, this is going to be very, very tiny, so we do want it to be visible at very small size, so I am cheating this out into a darker purple than it would be IRL, just to ensure that it's not just going to look white at that size, which we do not want. Can't believe I used to work with this paint all the time, and now I find it like I'm not really enjoying working with it, actually. That's really interesting. I think it was the right choice for this piece, but yeah, Not my favorite, actually, it turns out. Oh well. Is the rest of this... This is... Oh, good. It's like bone dry. That is honestly super useful for me. Because that means I should be able to maybe get some shading in places, which I would love to be able to do if it wants to show. That would be super cool. We'll see how it looks. Okay, anyways, I'm sure I had lots of interesting things to talk about before stream, and I've completely forgotten all of them. So I guess my question to y'all is, how are y'all doing? For anyone who's come down with something, I do hope that you feel better soon, because being down with things sucks. It really does. I know it well. I spent much of January under the weather and have really only started to feel better now, and I'm still pretty low energy if you can't tell. I feel like you can, but oh well, whatever. Anyways, okay. We've got some soft bits of shading here and there. Maybe just
Attention.
around
Twitch
the
user
hello.
Sammy Kelsch.
Shoppers.
Pam, hello. Hello, hello. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in, friends. It's lovely to see y'all. And hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome on in. How are you doing? Jam, how was the rest of your stream? It is lovely to see you. And hello to Nita and Kiona. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Spudgers, lovely to see you. Welcome, Kirsty. Hello, bees and stuff. Hi, hello. Casa, hello, and Jam, of course. Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. If you're not familiar with the lovely James B. Barrow, you should go give him a follow. He's fun and cool and does like artwork and stuff and is very good at it and very cool and neat and just generally an excellent human being. Human bee, even. For anyone who's not familiar with me, hi, hello. My name's Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and occasionally on Thursdays as well. We're just working on what is eventually going to become some form of a fresh emote, because my god, I've been talking about wanting to do some new emotes for absolutely ages. And so finally, this is the voice of our TTS on stream. She's unfinished. Her name is Nicole. She is a wombat. And I promise you she'll be cute by the time she's done, even though she looks a little bit creepy right now. Yay! I am still brainstorming what other emotes we might want to do here, because I'm really bad at brainstorming these things myself, and I don't know if anyone else has any very strong feelings about what should be an emote here, but this is one that's happening. Anywho, but yeah, lovely to see you, Jam. I hope the rest of your stream went well. And yeah, for anyone who's wondering what my art looks like when it's not this, I can find a representative image of something what I did recently that you can look at. I will also let you know that this is what wombats actually look like. Aren't they adorable? Kirsty says, I will die for Nicole already. Aw, she's blushing, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a wombat. We learned some things about wombats today. Most of the interesting facts about wombats seem to have to do with their butts and their poops, which was not intentional. But here we are. This is a piece I painted recently of our little ghost barista in their little coffee shop, the barista, if you will. Who is an absolute friend, and despite it being just the worst winter day, the coffee shop's open just in case anyone needs to be out in the cold and would like to come in and get warm. So that's the kind of silly shenanigans that we get up to here. Excuse me. Anywho. Hiccups, my goodness. Sorry about the hiccups. Anyway, so yeah, if you didn't know, wombats have surprisingly strong butts, and their poop is shaped like a cube. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle. I'm so sorry. Anyways. It's shaped like a what? It's definitely not a human, Kirsty. I don't know when I would have said a human. They have incredibly strong butts, and their poop it's fairly cuboid in shape. Maybe you heard me say cuboid. A cube, says Jam. Yes, it is a cube. I don't know if I want to show you pictures of cube-shaped poops on stream because I don't know if that's weird, but I mean, it seems like a lot of the interesting facts that we get up to here end up being kind of weird. Anyways, here's an art what Jam did because I can. Look at this neck. Look at this neck. Isn't this gorgeous? This is heckin' beautiful. Also, I love snakes, so this makes me very happy. Happy belated Lunar New Year, everyone, by the way. And let me get another shout out for Jam in the chat because I can. And thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Hello. Rex, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It is wonderful to see you and welcome on in. So yes, we are working on Nicole, the TTS Wombat, who is a lovely girl. And I apologize to TTS Nicole for the fact that we know so much about her how shall I say, business as it were. It's just one of those fun facts. It's just one of those fun facts, okay? Listen. Anywho. Let me try and get some little shadow under here. A little shadow under that flappy of paper. Delightful. I don't know how this is going to read as an emote. It might end up getting kind of cropped down a little bit. Because right now it's not looking it's not working quite rightly, but it will, I think. Anyways, Sweet Like Sugar, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Rex says Wombat TTS sounds exciting. I love her. I think she's great. I think she does a wonderful job of reading out the things here on our stream, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that she exists. And the fact that she's just a little creature. And I'm very happy that she's getting, even if it's like janky and I'm not really liking how these paints are performing, I'm still really happy that she's finally getting like official art of some description. I think that's nice too. Anyways, how was everyone's weekend and what are you up to today? I genuinely can't remember what I did this weekend. That's how my weekend was. I think it was just a blur of I was tired and I rested. I took some recycling out, and that's kind of it. So, yay. I'm gouging, says Kirsty. Are you okay? That sounds painful. Should I be concerned? Okay, the other interesting thing about this art piece is that unlike a normal art piece that I would do... Oh, you're doing... Oh, sweet, you're doing Lino prints. Oh my god. Okay, I said I was going to use this... Did you... What the heck is happening to my pen? Why does it have growths? Okay, so I don't trust this pen not to make a horrific mess. 'Cause... Oh no. Kirsty says, oh buddy, that's void. So I think this pen might be cursed. I think this pen might... Oh no, yeah. It's somewhere it's leaking. So I think I'm maybe gonna not use this pen. Because it should not be leaking void out of it. Kirsty wants to know if I've been to the Ancient Basin again. Listen, Kirsty, I haven't been to the Ancient Basin in absolute ages. So I don't know where this has come from. I'm not there yet in my speed run. My speed run, which has taken like 3 months, because I'm taking a few weeks off of Hollow Knight to play Daddish 3. Oh no, it's a message. Oh no. Jam is dropping into a lurk. Thank you so much for the raid again, Jam. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a lovely lurk. I hope your pen stops bubbling. I kind of feel like maybe I should use a different implement, because I feel like this might... I'm a little concerned that it might just, like, make a big blob of void all over our little friend's face here. And I would like to avoid that. Avoid that. That was my attempt at doing the little bum. I just did a funny comedy joke. Oh boy. Okay. If you don't mind, everyone, I'm gonna quickly go search through my supplies and see if I have a nice thick pen that is not going to consume us all, because that's genuinely concerning. I will be back in just a wee moment, and we'll continue working on this art piece. Oh no. Oh no. So at short notice, I have, instead of the 0.5 pen that I'd planned to use, I have a 1.0, which is very thick, or I have a brush, which is inconsistent. So I might just do a little test up here to see what it looks like. That is quite thick, but I do want a nice bold line. But then the brush pen, obviously, is a brush, so it gives nice variable widths, which could be interesting, but will it look messy? I don't know. Oh, because I can get quite thin with it, or quite thick. And it looks quite interesting, but I don't think that's exactly what we want. I do enjoy the brush pens, though. I do really enjoy the brush pens. They're very fun to work with. But I think for now I'm just going to use this thick boy and hope for the best. But we do want a good bold line, so hopefully this will be fine. Am I nervous? Do I sound nervous? I'm so nervous. But I think it'll be okay. As long as I'm very careful. Oh yeah. That's looking okay. I think that's looking okay. I think that's looking nice. Nice and bold. A nice bold little Australian daisy. Just like our TTS lady. A lovely little Australian flower. And we love her. Anyways. But yeah, what's everyone up to this week? What sort of shenanigans are y'all getting up to? I hope that they are good shenanigans. I wish to reiterate my programming note from earlier, just to let y'all know that I will be not streaming on Friday, because it is my 10-year wedding anniversary. And we are going to be busy having a 10-year anniversary. And I'm very looking forward to it. Very happy to be married to my beloved moderator / spouse. These dungarees are so stinking cute. Let me get the little pocket detail on here. Happy little butt pocket. There we go. For the extremely strong wombat butt, or wombat, if you will. Do I need to make that a fact that you can exclamation point in chat? I wonder. The wombat is extremely strong. I am so pleased to know this, by the way. It makes me very happy. There we go. And apologies for getting quiet. I was concentrating on drawing the little piece of paper. I know I said it already, but happy 10th anniversary, says Kirsty. Thank you so much, Kirsty. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. We're very happy, and I'm very looking forward to doing some celebratory stuff with my person. Just got some writing here. There we go. As for what she's reading, I don't know. It's a secret. I mean, she reads out most of the things that get typed in places where TTS will read them out, so usually she reads out things like, you know, username has subscribed for such and such number of months. Here's the message they have to say. Name of emote, 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 name of emote. That's the kind of thing that she says, except in less generic terms, obviously. And personally, I think she's doing an amazing job, especially considering that she is wombat, and wombats can't normally even read, let alone master human speech, so she's doing amazing. Hello, Tals, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome. Incidentally, I'm just going to solicit public opinion on this. If there's anything that I really desperately need to see or do in the city of Cardiff, let me know, because I'm going to be there in a few days. And definitely seeking, like, activities to add to the itinerary. Most of my itinerary tends to center around where can I get a good cup of coffee? And it used to center around where can I get some distinctive and good local baked goods, though that is kind of less so these days because my ability to process wheat is severely limited. Therefore, I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm on holiday and I can't I'm just like, oh, you know what, if just 2 donuts, just 2 or 3 donuts, a plate of pasta and a pizza, it'll be fine, I'll be okay, don't worry about it. And I end up having to go to the hospital because I couldn't resist the delicious, delicious foods. They're just so good. Anyways, life is pain. Life is pain. Anyways, Kirsty says, when you get to Cardiff, hop on a bus to nearby Scotland. Listen, I would love to Scotland. I would very much love to Scotland. There is potentially an event coming up later this year that is happening in Scotland that I am contemplating attending, but I just don't know because, like, what is money? I don't have that. So it's very much up in the air at the moment, but maybe someday I'll Scotland. It's KirstyCon, I know it. Oh my god, if there was a KirstyCon, I would find a way. I would find a way. Assuming I was invited. Sounds like an amazing time with a wonderful person. But yes, it is. You'll be shocked to know it's pirate related. Of course you'd be invited, says Kirsty. Aww. You should definitely have your own convention. You're awesome. Anyways. How could anyone not want to go to that? That'd be amazing. Okay. I can't see the sketch for the little mouth on this creature, but I'm gonna try and guess. So we've got this little very soft triangle of a nose. And then a little doot. Give it a little move. Oh god, this is looking cute. This is looking real cute. Oh no. Can you imagine having the confidence to have your own convention, asked Kirsty? I don't even have the confidence to attend someone else's convention for the most part. So absolutely not. That would be quite an expression of radical confidence there, but hey, you know what? Why not? Okay, this is the scary part because I'm drawing in her eyes. Do I want to give her some little sparkles? Yeah, I do, because she's real cute. Oh my goodness, look at her. She's adorable. Oh, this is trying to get the eyes somewhat, if not symmetrical, then at least similar in vibes. Not the easiest. And it's definitely... Oh, it's looking a little bit... How shall I say? Janky? It's looking a little bit janky, I feel like. I don't know if I want to try and, like... I'm scared that if I try and fix it, I'm gonna end up making it worse. That's the thing. It's not great at the moment. Oh no. To reiterate, oh no. Which is what TTS Nicole would say if she saw the official artwork I had made of her. Oh no. Maybe, you know what? There needs to be a little bit of the dungaree strap showing there. So I'm just gonna repaint that in blue. There we go. Okay, it's done. It's done. I fixed it. Oh, Derpy Wombat is cute, says Tulls. Yay! I mean, listen, it's my stream, and it's a Monday, and I've been pretty weird lately, so honestly, the fact that I completed an artwork feels like a large achievement at this point. It's been a month, but anyways, just have the confidence to let chat organize it for you, says Tulls. There you go, there's the solution. Get chat to do it. Yay! Anywho. I think that would work perfectly. And there you have it. Your very own convention. Okay. Every time I try and put paint on, it just picks up all of the paint. Because it puts on too much, and then it comes back again. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that and let it dry a little bit. But, oh no, I feel like she look a little derpy, but maybe when she real tiny, she won't look quite so derpy. Maybe I should... I'm, like, debating whether or not I want to try and get a little bit of, like, better fur texture in. Because I feel like the fur texture is not really giving maximum wombat at the moment. But I don't want to over texture it, because of course, I don't want to over texture it, of course, because, ultimately it's going to be very small. So, I mean, if I do try and get some fluffy textures in there, you're not really going to be able to see it anyways. So I don't know. I guess that's TTS Nicole. Oh god. Sometimes art is harder than others. And sometimes one is having a day, and that's okay. Since we hath beginneth, I feel like I want to do... I left space on the other side of the paper so that I could potentially start a different emote if I wanted to. and I've been racking my brains, and I don't know, maybe it's just because my recall is not good as far as, like, memory goes, but I'm like, what do I want emotes of? Like, what do I want emotes of? I don't know, because, like, I have a pretty well-stacked stable of emotes at the moment, but, like, some of them I feel like are things that could really be sort of swapped out and changed up and are super old that I'm just tired of looking at, so I want something new. And trying to decide what is, like, a good replacement vibe is really hard for me. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. My brain is just like, Anyways, Cassie says, I'm still here. I'm just torturing myself, aka physio exercises. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, Casa, I very much hope that they're going well, and I hope that the physio is therapeutic for you. As for me, I'm sipping my tea. Okay. The one thing that I did think of doing is, because we do play a lot of Hollow Knight, making another Hollow Knight emote. I don't know if people would want that, but I was thinking of doing a little Hornet. Because Hornet fun. But I don't know. I don't know how well that will read when it teensy. Or if I maybe just do, like, her face. I don't know. Anyways, I also don't know how well, because I work in traditional and not digital, I don't know how well this is going to read when it's teeny tiny. It might end up being, like, a crop, because the whole thing might not read super well. Actually, the longer I'm looking at it, the more I like this. I think she's cute. I do actually think she's cute, now that I've been looking at it for longer. Like, she's fine. I was just feeling bad about myself for nothing. She is cute, says Tal. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And she appreciates it too. I'm sure if she were here, she would say thank you very much. And possibly, oh no, because yeah. Just, it's interesting. I have heard some Australian folks say, like, we don't say that. And it's like, you don't. But some Australian people do. Like, it is documented. But, different accents, I think you hear things differently as well. Like, say if you're trying to pronounce something in a different language and someone's like, no, it's not like that, it's like this, and you can't hear the difference. That kind of thing. But that's getting too heavily into linguistics. There was a fellow on YouTube who's a linguist who made an entire video about the specific accent that does the oh no accent, which I think is really cute. I think it's delightful. I mean, I don't know. If someone made a video about, how would someone make a video about my accent? Because I think at this point my accent is kind of a mess. Like, I think you can tell that if you hear, I think you can tell that I'm Canadian if you know what to listen out for. Like, when I said about just then, it definitely sounded Canadian to me. Oh, pretzels, it looks like I've got to do an old-timey mid-Atlantic accent for the next 5 minutes. Well, you definitely can't tell that I'm Canadian now, anywho. Thank you very much, Tals, for the redeem. I do appreciate it. Accent, you say, says Tals. Indeed, apparently so. Cassis says, I watched an Australian try to say, oh no, rather than oh no, and it was a struggle. Oh dear, that just feels mean, honestly. Oh no, appears to be from the wonderful city of Sydney. Well then, there you go. If you are from a completely different bit of the country, you've probably got a completely different accent. There are some commonalities certainly, but you can hear the difference between. I think so, anyways, between someone who's from one bit of Australia and someone who's from another bit of Australia. That's because it's a big old country and accents change from one area to another. In some accents more so than others. I mean, my goodness, if you're in the United Kingdom, if you've ever been to the United Kingdom or listened to peoples from the United Kingdom speak, you will know that you can travel about an hour up the road and just hear completely different vowel pronunciations from not that far away. It's wild and quite interesting, I think, with regard to how these things developed. And I don't 100% know quite how some of these things developed, but I think a lot of it potentially has to do with various sort of layers different layers of influences from other languages in different areas, and um oh, I don't know, possibly different different areas being sort of more isolated than other ones, and developing sort of independently, and obviously different areas of the country where other languages are spoken more or less regionally. But anywho, Casa says fully lost it listening to someone from Newfoundland, because why do they sound more Irish than Ireland? The Newfoundland accent really does go to show that there isn't one singular Canadian accent, certainly, because the deep east is as it were is quite different to what the average individual sounds like from my bit of the country in Ontario. And that is, I think, largely to do with the sort of relative isolation of the geographical location of it, combined with the sort of initial population of immigrants and settlers, and where they came from and their relationship therefore to the English language evolved in quite a different way to, for example, where I'm from. I've never been to Newfoundland. I'd quite like to visit one day. I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be fun. Lovely landscapes, very, very beautiful. And there is... I don't know if I should say the name of this town, because it's very silly. It's a bit... It is... Listen. Here's the thing. It is the name of the town, but it's, puts one in a real humdinger of a situation if one wants to say it on stream, because it is indeed... also a word that may be construed as a bit rude, and some of you probably know the place in Newfoundland of whence I am speaking is dildo. Sorry. I do, it does make me, apparently, it does make me wonder if they have issues with people stealing the sign outside the town. Because I know that there was a place in, another European country, that had a name that in English is rude, but obviously English was not the native language of that country. Well, which one was it? Heck. Anyways, they changed the name of the town because English tourists kept coming and stealing the sign. The absolute, just, can you, let's just take a, you have a phone. I can't stress enough how you have a phone. You can just take a picture of the sign. You don't need to own it. That costs municipal funds. Taxpayers' money. Honestly. Anywho. Very rude. Really does give a terrible impression of the behavior of English tourists, shall we say. Deeply uncool. Anywho. Besides, there are lots of very rude place names in the United Kingdom as well, so, glass houses and all that, don't you know? Anywho. I knew, says Tals. There we go. I do apologize for to anyone in chat who is of a more delicate persuasion that you had to hear the name of a Newfoundland town that is a little bit rude. But there you go. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Anyways. I feel like I want to, there is an emote that I have that I feel like I could do a new, better version of that's just the one that's me absolutely suffering, but I don't know. Do I need a new emote for that, or is that emote fine? I don't know. It has my old hairstyle, so I feel like it could do with a refresh just because my hair doesn't look like that anymore. And it's fairly easy to do. Maybe I'll make a new suffering emote. Cassis says, I have done physio. I am now sore. Aw, jeez. Well, welcome back. I hope that it went well, and I hope that the soreness ends up being rewarding. And it's lovely to see you again. And I hope that the rest of your day, to make up for it, is nice and relaxing. Yeah. I'm gonna sip my coffee. And TTS Nicole is going to be a friend. Hello, she says. Hello. Anyways, I don't think she particularly has that accent, really. I think you would have to, work really hard to get TTS Nicole to actually say, oh no! I think you'd have to find some creative spelling of oh no, I think, to actually get an oh no out of her. I have not tried. Maybe I should try. Anyways. Kirsty says, the people of Cockbridge in Scotland also have issues with people stealing their signs. Oh, I'm not surprised. I wonder if it's a problem in Penistone. If you're not familiar with the town of Penistone, you can probably guess how it's spelled and what it looks like. And why they insist it's pronounced Penistone. But we know. We all know. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not so... Aw, jeez. Do people not realize you can just take a picture of the sign? Like, you can just... We all have photo-taking implements, at, on our persons pretty much all the time these days. You can just take a photo of the signs of rude names. In fact, I have done that very thing. It's not the same, says Joe. Are you coming out in defense of people who steal rude name signs? Or are you telling me that, did you not have weird road cones and signs in the room at university? Oh no. I do understand the urge. But no, I didn't. But also, I didn't live in, residence when I was at university. So maybe that's different. Also, I was a mature student. So I think maybe I just missed out on this rite of passage. Also, I've never really been, an alcohol enjoyer, particularly. So I think I don't know. I just lost out on this very important, rite of passage, I guess. Drunk person plus funny sign equals stolen sign, says Joe. I understand. It was part of the university student mask. I don't drink now and haven't for many, many years. Yeah, that's a mood. I mean, I will say, I do enjoy a couple teaspoons most of, one of those, Hotel Chocolat chocolate cream liqueurs that come in little mini bottle sets at Christmas time, in my hot chocolate, just to make it taste fancy. But that's not silly hot chocolate. That's just, it tastes a bit fancy. And it does taste a bit fancy. It's really good. But that's, the only thing that I enjoy. I didn't even purchase, normally at Christmas time, my moderator / spouse and I will each buy, a bottle of cider or something, and he'll have most of his, and I'll have, 5 sips of mine, and that will be, our annual tipple, and I just kind of didn't this year, partially because I was under the weather, but I kind of just didn't want to, and that was fine. I was drinking, mint tea and ginger tea, because I wasn't feeling very well. And that seemed to suit me much better. Anyways, so this is TTS Nicole, and I need to figure out what else I want to do, an artwork of. I think I could do a refresh of, the I'm suffering emote, but... Should I do something else? I don't know. I'm really bad at, brainstorming emote ideas. There's a couple that I feel like I could use a bit of refreshment, but I don't know if they're really things that I'm going to be able to sketch out well on stream, because, I feel like the hell yeah. I could probably make a new hell yeah emote. I do want a hell yeah emote though, so I don't want to get rid of it. But lettering's hard and takes me a really long time and is not super fun to watch. So I might attempt to start drawing an updated I'm suffering face. But you may have answered this, but why do you perceive TTS Nicole as a wombat? Asks Joe. Well, first of all, she is Australian, and wombats are a Australian creature. And she's also a sweet and lovely lady, but also a strong lady. And I wanted to draw wombats. I don't know. As soon as we kind of met TTS Nicole, because I didn't always have a TTS voice, but when I decided that stream should have a TTS voice, I met Nicole, and I was like, you know, she just has the vibe of a wombat. So, and it turns out she is. So there you go. And her poops are cubes, says Tals. Yeah, exactly. She has cuboid poopies. Very important. I don't know why wombat poops are cubes. I could find out, potentially. I do know that they have very strong butts. Why are wombat poop cubes? Apparently just okay. So it's just the way their muscles shape the poop when it happens. My TTS is Welsh, called Geraint. Nice. Did you not want to Google that? Asks Joe. I feel like whatever government agent is monitoring my Google searches has to genuinely be worried for me. Because I search for some weird things. Either just out of general curiosity or for, like, research purposes. And I honestly don't know if they're just like, are they alright? Like, is this person okay? Should I be concerned? And the answer is probably. The answer was a resounding probably. I'm the same. Sammy says, Kirsty, I will Google anything. Listen, it's a good way of finding out stuff. So, like, why not, right? Okay, so I'm gonna draw myself, but distressed. Because I feel like that, I don't know, that feels like a mood. The stream doesn't really have one specific mascot besides, I don't know, my PNG tuber here. Perhaps to my detriment. We do have like the terrible Crash Bandicoot that I don't know how to draw. But we already have emotes for that guy, and he I don't think he gets distressed very often. He's pretty resilient. I mostly Google people names or words, says Joe. Oh man, I Google so many. I Googled how to get the smell of Tom Ford ombre leather out of my coat sleeves. Not that exact wording, but pretty much. And the consensus is a resounding, try spraying vinegar on it, question mark. Because man, seriously, it's been over a week. And the sleeve cuffs of my beautiful, beautiful coat still smell like... They smell like your wealthy auntie's silk scarf that she's given you to wear over your hair, while you ride in her convertible when you visit her on holiday. It's got that kind of powdery floralness to it that just sticks to fabric, and I just, listen... If I was just smelling it ambiently on, like, another human being or their silk scarf, I wouldn't mind it. But it does not suit me at all. It does not. I much prefer a nice sort of, like, non-binary woodland smell. Maybe some spices. I like vetiver. I like sandalwood. I don't like powdery, musky florals. I find it just, I don't know, it just feels too mature and too feminine for me. And I am immature and non-beanie, so no. That is a very specific smell, says Tals. Well, that's the thing. I do find that scents are very, very evocative. And what we associate with smells has a lot to do with sort of our memories and experience of them, that kind of thing. Like, for instance, lemon myrtle. I have a lemon myrtle oil that I think smells like lemon sweets. It smells so good to me. I think it smells just like lemon sweets. My moderator / spouse smells it, and he's like, ugh, cleaning product. He thinks it smells like a lemon-scented cleaning product. I think that's really interesting. Thank you for the hydrate, Joe. I enjoyed my coffee sip. But yeah, interesting stuff. But likewise, I was making a little fragrance blend for some soaps the other day, and I wanted to add a little bit of sea pine to it, because just smelling them smelling the bottles of various essential oils ambiently, I was like, yeah, these go together. I added a drop of it, like 0.1 of a gram, to the blend, and it took it from smelling like a pleasant, sort of slightly smoky lavender to cleaning product, because of the pineness in it. Because pine is often used to mask the unpleasant smells of cleaning products to make it smell nice, but therefore we associate the smell of pine with cleaning products instead of something nice. So that kind of wrecked it, and I ended up having to add like a ton of vetiver and a ton more lavender to cover up that like single 0.1 of a gram of pine. Which was surprisingly hard work. Oh, and also a bit of labdanum, which was hard work because it's very thick. So it was hard getting a specific amount out of the bottle without having to kind of soak the whole thing in boiling water first so it would actually flow out. Anyways, yay! I have some soap-related projects coming up. I hope that you like hearing me talk about soap. Anyways, I have a YouTube channel that I don't update often enough, in case you're curious and you're not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and watching all my videos. It would mean genuinely the world to me, because it's a very quiet place, but I don't know, if there were more people there, I would probably make more videos. And that would make me feel happy, because I like making videos. It's, you know, I was thinking about this the other day, the struggle of, you want to create more stuff, but there isn't an audience for it, but there won't be an audience for it if you don't create stuff. But then creating stuff is expensive, and so you need support in order to be able to afford to do it. But you won't get support if you don't have a body of stuff available for people to be an audience to. And I'm kind of stuck in that loop at the moment, where I can't really afford to create more than I am at the moment. So I'm not able to grow an audience as much as I'd like to, because I don't have enough things to entice people to be interested in me. It's a bit of a catch-22, says Tals. Yes, exactly, yes. If I could just, like, have, like, a 12-month sabbatical from having to have a normal job wherein I could just do all of these things and have infinite, you know, or at least some measure of budget with which to do it, maybe I could put out a YouTube video every month, you know? Maybe I could do more things with my Patreon, maybe this, that, and the other, that I can't do because I have to have a normal job. I gotta do the lurks, Sammy, but Illy too, Kirsty. Thank you very much for hanging out. Have a lovely lurk. Thank you. Okay, so now that I've discussed a very stressful topic, let me draw a new stressful me. I actually don't think that the one where I'm stressed is the worst of my current batch of emotes, but man, my hair in that is real out of date, and I'd like to correct that. So I'm gonna make a new one that's just my face. Is that what my nose looks like? I don't know. It is now. I always draw my nose slightly differently because I'm bad at it. And here's my mouth just being just like a bean of sadness. Oh, that's kind of a weird angle. I can do a better bean of sadness than that. But, yes. I will say I am very much looking forward to Meatball Monday tonight. Yeah, I feel like that's a good start to a sad face. I get my eyes in here. I think because it's small, but they should be fairly large, I feel like. There we go. Oh no. I look very concerned here. This is delightful. I look very concerned. I'm enjoying. Oh no. Oh no. Then I've just got my big chubby round face. My tiny little ear. No, that's too tiny. That's not gonna read. A slightly less tiny ear, perhaps. But I do have quite small ears, so it can be somewhat tiny. Actually, I think I probably want to redo the eyes as well, now that I'm looking at them some more with everything. There we go. Okay. Maybe bring them down a little bit. I'm going to have to do a super quick BRB in just a minute. But I shall do that. Not yet. Sometimes it's hard to tell, actually, for me, whether or not, like, the eyes look right. Is it just because they haven't been colored in yet, or is it because they actually look, like, not good? Sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm distressed. Okay, yeah, actually, that's a little bit better, I think. That's a little bit better, I think. Maybe should I have sort of a hand being like, oh no. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the BRB time to decide whether or not I want to have sort of my little hands at my face being like, oh no, or if it's just gonna be sort of my suffering face, because I genuinely can't decide. But I don't know. I think I need a distraught emote, so I'm making one. But I'll BRB. Have a nice stretch, a beverage, do all those things. I'll be back very shortly. Enjoy the BRB song. The BRB. Everybody, I'm back. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back. It's lovely to be here. Hello. I honestly don't know whether or not I like this yet. I'm just gonna keep drawing it, and if it ends up looking real bad, I just won't use it. That's nice and easy. There's my curls. Because I used to think that I had, like, maybe wavy, but mostly straight hair. Surprise! No, I don't. I just had bad shampoo and conditioner for years. Oh my goodness. Turns out, I do actually have, like, curly situation happening up there. It just, it's difficult to manifest when it's, you know, poorly maintained because you're using, like, the wrong shampoos and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna borrow this wombat brown for my hair, I think, but just use a darker amount of it. My hair actually does have, like, a reasonable amount of gray in it these days, but I'm not gonna try and paint that in because I feel like it's gonna be really hard to get it to read properly at that size. So it's just gonna be brown. And hopefully that'll be fine. Also, it's going on very messy here, but whatever. Anyways. I think maybe next art stream I'll do... I really want to do, like, a little sort of landscapey type situation using just 2 colors. Entirely because I'd seen someone else do it and it looked really fun and cool. And I've done plenty of things with a color before, but not 2 colors. So I think that would be fun to play with, to see how much variation you can get from mixing different amounts of the same two colors together and sort of gradienting between them. I think it'd be quite fun. And I have two colors in mind that I think I'll probably use for the first one of these, because I'm trying to be really strong and not buy new paints just for like an experiment / project. Because I have plenty of paints. I don't need more paints, but my god, buying more paints is so much fun. As always, buying supplies and actually doing the like art / craft work are two completely different hobbies. And I definitely have both of those hobbies, so, you know. Oh no. Especially when I'm trying not to spend very much money. It's a struggle. Like I've been thinking about using, sort of working with gouache a bit, doing some paintings in gouache. I think would be very fun. I love the look of gouache. I love the whole vibe of gouache. I don't really own any. So I thought, well, what if I just get like a set of like 12 artists' gouache paints and attempt to do something with those? Wouldn't that be fun? Yes. Yes, it would be super fun. Should I do that? No. No, probably not. The temptation of the noose, as tells. Exactly. Like, look at me today, using art supplies I've owned for a really long time, and honestly, in hindsight, I don't actually like these that much anymore. I don't think they're as good as I used to, because I bought new art supplies subsequently and found that I like the new paints better. Go figure. But I also still own these art supplies, so I feel like I should be using them. Apologies if my voice is all over the place. I dropped my paintbrush and I can't see where it's gone. Oh no! Swear words! Hello Samantha, welcome on in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you and welcome! Somebody's gonna need to figure out how to get TTS Nicole to actually say, oh no, because I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know what combination of letters you would need to make it happen. But hopefully we do. Someday. For goodness sake, where did it go? Still looking for my paintbrush down here, everybody. It's just completely gone. I can see carpet. I can see a whole bunch of cables under the desk. Aha! It was lost among all the cables under the desk. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yes, hello Samantha. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you and welcome. Hello. I'm just fixing up some fresh emotes for the stream. Having a very silly time of it thus far. Working on giving myself a new distressed face, because I don't know, I guess I needed more distress in my life. Anyways, but that's what that's all about. There we go. Okay. Okay. But yeah, day 23, says Samantha. The cables still haven't figured out I am actually a paintbrush. They have accepted me as one of their own. Oh, hooray. Well, I'm glad to know that my little brushy is having an exciting new life. Ow. Ow. Oh, beans. Oh, cheese pizza. Oh, something is making me cough. I did actually make myself a cup of tea while we were on BRB, but I didn't have enough time to, like... The BRB isn't enough time for it to finish brewing, so the bag is still in it. But it is a fruit tea, and I routinely forget to get my fruit teas from the kitchen for, like, 20 minutes at a stretch. So I'm not worried that it's going to get too strong. It's not like a black tea where if you leave the bag in for too long, it starts to get like really tannic and bitter and unpleasant. It just kind of stops extracting the flavor from a fruit tea at a certain point, and it will just continue tasting the same. In my fairly comprehensive experience, so I'm not too worried. Anyways, I do also have my mint tea, which is not scalding hot, so maybe I should be drinking this instead. Who knows? Anyways, Tals wants to know what fruits I have teed up. This is mulled cider tea. So it's like apples and spices situation. It's quite cinnamony, I'd say. Quite cinnamony. It's delightful. Definitely. There's a bit of quite cinnamony, getting a bit of clove as well. And an apple vibe, obviously. It's very cozy. It's a very cozy tea. It was one of the ones from my tea advent calendar that I'm trying to drink up so I can, recycle the box that they came in, because it's kind of large. And I'm trying to downsize the amount of boxes of things I have in my house. Slowly but surely, I'm picking away at it, but it is a task. It's very much a task. But yeah, it's delicious. Anyways, I didn't end up drinking all of the teas from my tea advent calendar during actual advent calendar season because I was not very well in December, and so a lot of things just didn't appeal to me because I felt sick. And then a lot of things I was worried would make me feel worse because I felt sick. So I have all my advent calendar teas for me to enjoy during like February and stuff, which is fun. But at this point, I'm not going by like, oh, it's day 17, I'm going to drink this. It's more just like, I'm looking at what each of them are and being like, oh, I feel like having mint chocolate. That sounds good. Or what did I have yesterday? Ginger nut biscuit. Ginger nut biscuit was really good. That was one of those impressive ones where they're like, this tea tastes like a ginger nut biscuit. And you're like, okay. And then you try it and you're like, oh my god. This tea tastes like a ginger nut biscuit. Like, it is bang on. It's very impressive. I don't know how they got tea to taste that much like a ginger nut biscuit, but, like, they really did. It's genuinely, very impressive. Okay, I need to make pale, very pink undertoned flesh. Very pale. I'm quite a pale individual, I think. Just like generally. Though I do have extremely rosy cheeks disorder. I always have, and I kind of hate it, and it's, I'm super rosy now as like an adult. I suspect it's probably due to some like low grade allergy situation happening somewhere in my body that just has turned me into a strawberry. But I don't know what it is. And I am looking after myself one allergy and intolerance at a time, and right now I'm dealing with the whole like I can't have wheat situation. I don't want to throw anything else into there just yet. That's already wheat, lactose, mushrooms. Life is pain. Anyways, there we go. Well, at least now I have some semblance of a flesh tone, I guess. Though, can I color my cheeks in a smidge? I sure can. There we go. Now I look distressed and flushed. That's a little bit more like it. I might blot that a smidge. Then decide I shouldn't have blotted it and add it back. Because that basically just erased it, actually. There we go. Now it looks like me. Hooray! Now I just need this to dry so I can do the inks. Oh no. Oh no. Anyways, but yeah, what else am I doing this week? I think we might start on some kind of little, I don't know, maybe a nice little landscapey situation on Thursday. I think that would be pleasant. And then once again, Friday there is no stream on Friday because I am going to be not here because I'm going to be going on a very long date with my moderator / spouse because we've been married for 10 years, and that is certainly a cause for celebration in this house. So we're going to be busy being on a date and having a lovely time. I'm going to swim. I'm going to have snacks. I'm going to ride on a train. I'm very excited. And I'm going to hold hands with my person. I'm especially excited about that because I love him. Anyways, I really hope that this looks kind of good when it's tiny. I honestly don't know. Like, I try to do the thing, like, if I just hold it very far away from myself, like, if I just move super far away, how does it look? It doesn't really work. That's the trouble with doing non-digital art, is that I can't really tell what things are gonna look like as emotes until I scan them in and size them down. I guess I could, like, take a picture with my phone and then try and make it real tiny. Maybe I'll do that. Hold up. Phone photo. Okay, can I make it smaller? How does it look when it's just a teeny tiny little icon on my phone? And will that give me any kind of idea? No, I don't need my Blue Sky notifications, but thank you for the people who liked the post that I made to say that I'm going live. Right, there she is. There she is, but tiny. Okay, yeah, I think it's vaguely readable. I'm like holding it at a distance to me that is about the same size as the emotes on my computer screen. I would say it's vaguely readable. So, okay, yeah, that'll do. Anyways. It is hard to tell. There are a few emotes that I feel like could do with, like, a makeover. But some that I feel like I could just maybe, like, zhuzh up the line weight and stuff, like the sunfish I think is fine, but I think the line weight could do with a bit of a zhuzhing. This is just, the bits of the paint are still wet, but I think bits, I can color in, like, my eyes and stuff at least. Let's see how that looks. And ultimately, if I decide that this doesn't look very good, it doesn't need to be an emote. It can just be, we did a stupid little sketch today. The end. I am open to suggestions. If anyone is like, oh, you should make an emote of this, and people feel like they would, like, genuinely use it, I would love to know. Because the point of emotes is that people like and use them. So if they're entirely things that people aren't going to like or use, then they kind of, it kind of defeats the purpose. But, I mean, I'm trying my best. There we go. Well, now you can see my face. Stress! That's what this face is saying. This face is saying stress. Because sometimes your streamer, they are stressed. Most of the time I'm not. Most of the time I'm just having a good time, but sometimes I am stressed. Like when, for anyone who was here earlier, when I wasn't originally going to use this ink pen, I was going to use a different ink pen. And that ink pen was deeply broken. Like it was super broken. There was just distressing amounts of inky black void just emanating from it in ways that really shouldn't be from a pen. So, yeah. I feel like I might have cursed the stream if I had attempted to use that pen, you know? I don't really want to curse the stream any more than it already is, which it probably is a bit. Anyways, hello! Tell us, oh no, Sammy is distressed in about form. Yup. How do I feel about this? I don't know. I think it looks kind of derpy. But it could certainly be worse. Might do a bit of fix and post on that, but this one I honestly think is pretty cute. I'm gonna go so far as to just sign next to her butt to say I made this. I'm not gonna use the signature in the emote, obviously, but yep, there's my distressed self. Thank you, Samantha. I don't know. Now, see, I like the emote that this is potentially replacing because my hair is different. I do like that emote. I think it's fun. So maybe I don't want to change it. Maybe I think that emote looks better than this one. I don't know. Anyways, it ultimately at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I might not use that one. But at least I did it. Yes. I've kind of finished things fairly early today, so I might wrap up fairly early, actually, and just go make dinner. It is Meatball Monday, after all. I'm having corn Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes, and no lingonberry sauce because we couldn't find any. We didn't have any at home, and we don't live anywhere near an IKEA. Remember, says Samantha, TTS Nicole has cubic poop. She does! She does. She's a very special lady, with a very strong butt, and she poops cubes. And, you know, she's formidable. She's also a wombat who can read, so... I mean, I feel like that's a pretty impressive skill, frankly. But yeah, I'm very proud of her, and I think you should be too. Yeah, probably gonna do some kind of nice soft landscape or something next time. Because I think that would be a nice, relaxing thing to paint. For anyone who's new here, my art doesn't normally look quite this derpy. I don't think, anyways. Your mileage may vary, I guess. But thank you for sticking around.
Attention.
Twitch user Sammy Kelch.
Scrappy! Hello! Welcome in. Well, we're gonna stick around for a bit because Scrappy just raided. Hello, Scrappy! Welcome in! How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Thank you for the raid, Samuel. Welcome in. Scrappy, welcome in. How are you doing? How was your stream? What'd you get up to today? Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. Y'all, if you're not following Scrappy Jane, you should go do that because Scrappy is great. Hi, I'm Goo, says Scrappy. Hi, Goo, I'm Dad. It's lovely to see you. Welcome in. Thank you so much. What'd you get up to today? What did you do? Did you have a good time? I hope you had a good time. It's lovely to see you. As always, if you would like to pay the art tax and share something that you were working on or some art that you've done, you are very welcome to do so. But if you don't want to, that's also good as well. If you just want to chill, it's all good. Anyways, I played OG Sims. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I had forgotten about that. The OG, like, The Sims 1 is available digitally for, like, the first time. So you can play it on your computer, which is very exciting. Because The Sims is, as much as it pains me to say so, it's 25 years old. I feel so elderly saying that. It's chaotic. I love it. So Scrappy. It looks like so much fun. It really does. I love that so much. Flizza. Anyways, The Sims can vote and buy beer, says Samantha. It's true. They can drive their little cars. They can do all kinds of stuff. I should introduce myself for anyone who's just coming on the raid. Hello, my name's Twitch user Sammy Kellis. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams, cozy-ish art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and the occasional Thursday as well. We've been working on potentially sort of ideating some possible new emotes. This is Nicole, who is the voice of our TTS here. She is an Australian lady. She's a wombat who knows how to read. We're very proud of her. She's delightful. This is my face, and I don't like it. So please focus your attentions on Nicole because she's better. But yes, that's what we have been up to for the most part on stream. Using some old paints that I haven't used in a while, and it turns out I don't like them as much as I used to. So I'm probably gonna not use them again. Knows how to read sometimes, says Samantha. Yeah, I mean, her reading skills aren't perfect, but she's a wombat. So I feel like we need to cut her some slack. But she's trying her best. She doesn't mispronounce things out of malice. She mispronounces things out of the fact that she is, a wombat. Anyway, here's, in case anyone's wondering about, maybe a representative example of what my art looks like when it's not this. Here's something I painted a little while ago that is, I think, okay, maybe. This is Terry. He is a forg. He is a mage. And he's living his best life. Here he is in his cozy little reading nook, reading a book. Samuel, thank you so much for the 10 stream steak. That is so many steaks. Thank you. So apparently I've been lurking in here a lot lately, and I really appreciate your lurks. Thank you so much for lurking. Thank you for the 10 stream steak. Enjoy your 10 steaks, my friend. Yeah, this is what my art looks like when it's done sometimes. I hope you like it. This is what I look like over here on the left. Cause where's trying to get my finger under the camera so I'm pointing at me. There we go. There I am. Hello. Anyways. Oh, also, I don't know how and I don't know where, but I got a paper cut on this thingy, which is why I have a plaster on. But yeah, so this is what we did today. We're actually going to be ending fairly soon, I think. I'm trying to brainstorm out, like, what I want to do next stream. I want to do a little, like, 2-color landscape, and I think I know what colors I want to use. I think I want to use Potter's Pink and Cobalt Turquoise, because I think those 2 colors would be really interesting together. I don't know how they swatch out if you combine them. Maybe I should find my pans of them, and we can just do a little testy test to see what happens if you combine those 2, because that might color whether or not I decide to use those 2 colors together. Samantha says, I can confirm an exact likeness of Sammy. Thank you. I do try and be accurate in my self-portraiture. Finding out they are actually 2D in real life was wild. Yeah, exactly. Cobalt Turquoise, says Samantha. Yes, that one. Hold up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's in one of these. I think they're in one of these 2 boxes. So let me have a little look, see? And we'll have a little look. I don't know if anyone's as interested in, like, the...
Twitch user Sammy Kelch.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Welcome to the chaos. Hi, how are you doing? How was your stream? What did you get up to today? It is lovely to see y'all, and welcome on in. Hello. Welcome. I was just about to, I hope, swatch some paints together to see how they look as friends. There's one of them. But it's lovely to see y'all. Welcome, Sterubel, hello! And Rathmore, hello! Welcome in, friends. How was the stream? What did you get up to today? It is so very nice to see you, and welcome on in. Is this the right set of paints? No, I don't think it is. I think it's the other one. Beans. Beans. Or is it? It's hard to tell. Is this pink? It might be this one. It might be that one. Anyways. Hello. Raid! I didn't copy my own raid call, says Elove. That's alright. It's lovely to see you. Welcome in. What did you do today? What did you get up to? I'd love to hear all about it. And in the meantime, I shall introduce myself. Hello. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and also sometimes on Thursdays. And today we were attempting to design some new emotes. I don't know how I feel about this one. But this is the lady who does our TTS voice. She is a wombat named Nicole, and she's doing a great job of reading things, all things considered. And she's a nice lady. If there's anything that you would like to share with us, Elove, if you've got, like, whatever you were working on today, if you were working on some artworks, or anything else that you would like to share, you are very welcome to whisper me a link, and I would love to share it with the class. But we are an art tax optional stream, so if you just want to chill, that is quite all right too. It's entirely up to you. In the meantime, I did some painting rehab, says Ela. That sounds delightful. It really does. Let me get. Did I shout you out? Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. And again, if you're not following Ela, you should do that. You can do that right there. They are very cool. And thank you very much for the raid. I really appreciate it. If you don't know what my art looks like when it's not these chaos gremlins, it's kind of like this. This is a little 18th century breakfast scene that we painted recently for the Streaming Cozy January prompt list. This was the pajama breakfast. So I've got a couple little loves in their little pajama jams, having some toast and jam and some lovely, lovely hot chocolate. Which was a lot of fun to do. Yes, pirate boyfriends, says Samantha. They sure are. Maybe even husbands. Who's just to say? Anyways, I have a link, says Elove. Oh, can you whisper it to me? I would love to share it. But links get erased from chat because of my settings, and I don't know how to add permissions for, like, individuals. So, yes, whispers, please. I would love to share. And thank you. Yes, what was I saying? Paints. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a little, I want to do next stream a little, like, 2-color, piece. And I was wondering whether or not these 2 colors will work together, so I want to try and give it, just give it a little swatchy test, because we've got a little negative space here that I don't need, so I thought I might just throw that in there. But also, I got to look at wombats earlier, and that was fun. Because wombats are real cute. And for anyone who doesn't know, wombats apparently have incredibly strong butts. Samantha says, I mean, they're both ship captains in TV land. That means they can marry themselves. Oh, the romance. This is a wombat, by the way. Elove says those are pretty colors. Oh, thank you. Assuming I picked up the right pans, they're Potter's Pink and Cobalt Turquoise. I should really label these things, but I don't. This is an example of an actual wombat in real life. Are they not just the heckin' cutest? I think they are. And this is, oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. This is a lovely piece of art from Elove. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's beautiful. Shooting stars critter. I love it. I love it so much. This is absolutely delightful. I love what sort of paint is this? It's really pretty. I love the expression on this little critter. They're so joyous. That's really sweet. Thank you so much for sharing this. Once again, if you're not following Elove, you should be doing that for the Cozy January. It's such a fun prompt list, isn't it? I almost did the entire list on time, but not quite. Watercolor, gouache, ink, etc. Ooh, very mixed media. I love to see it. I've been wanting to get into using gouache recently. I've got a hankering. And this looks gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the colors. I love the softness and the boldness and the just, oh, it's delightful. Thank you very much for sharing indeed. And if you are not following Elove, you can go do that. Go click the follow me button right now if you want to. You can do that. I have the 3rd one, but not posted yet. I cannot wait to see it. Very much looking forward to. Very much indeed. I almost squeaked in all of them, like, within the month of January, but then I just couldn't, at the end of the month, because I was not feeling super great and kind of just ran out of steam. And I think posted the last one on, like, was it yesterday maybe? Maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. I did get an interesting comment on Mastodon in reply to my my posting of that artwork. And I was very confused as to what they meant, because they literally just replied with a link to the Wikipedia page for the history of chocolate. And I'm like, is this, I don't know if this is an actually, or just an I want to share information. And then I realized that captioned the piece with beginning with the question, what was breakfast like in the 18th century? And that was it. I mean, I followed on by saying, like, it depends, you know, it varies depending on, like, you know, where you were and, you know, your means. But that, you know, people may have had some, you know, like bread and preserves, and hot chocolate was a breakfast beverage. So I had these two drinking hot chocolate and having some bread with preserves. And yeah, they just replied with a link to like the Wikipedia article on the history of chocolate, and I'm like, I don't understand what the intent of this is. Like, I don't want to assume that they are being that they're trying to be like, that they're trying to actually my post. I mean, one of the figures in the piece is wearing a crop top. So like, I'm not aiming for full historical accuracy in the piece itself. I'm aiming for like the vibe, but you know, if it's a little bit different, that's okay. But I just thought that was really weird. And I wasn't sure if it's like, because they didn't say anything, they like literally just put the link. I didn't want to assume that they're trying to be like malicious in any way, but I also don't know whether or not they were just like, this is really interesting. I would like to share more information with you, and are just sharing more information with me, which is, you know, entirely possible as well, but I don't know, so I just didn't reply, because if somebody's actuallying, I don't want to engage in like, I don't want to engage them into what they think is like a debate, because no, I'm not here for that. But also, if they're just sharing, that's neat, and I don't want to assume that they're acting maliciously and say something that feels mean in response, you know? So I just decided to say nothing. And I feel like that's probably the right call. Ooh, these two blend together into something real pretty, I think. I think the turquoise is kind of a stronger color than the pink, and I think I'll need to be mindful of that. But the kind of like midpoint of the two is quite a lovely looking sort of purplish gray color, which is really pretty. Ooh, I think these two colors combined. This is a weird looking face now, which was not my intention at all. Oh no. But it kind of is. So hold on. This is just a weird face now. Oops. It is a robot. Oh my god, it is a robot. Oh no. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna have to lean right into that and give it a little. Give it a little antenna. There we go. Yay! Color swatch face. Sammy's newest emote, color swatch face. Oh no. But it is just, oh no, it's just a jolly little robot. Well then. Thank you, everyone. Honestly, I think this is the best piece of art I've produced today. But I will say, I do really like the way that these two colors interact. So, next stream, we're gonna do some kind of little landscape using these two paints in particular. The paint science robot, yay! And I feel like this is honestly the closest I've come recently to good paint science. For anyone who doesn't know, all of the pieces that I did for the Cozy January prompt list were painted with these, which were my weird, ham-fisted, and bad science-y attempts at recreating the color Moonglow, which is a mixture of pigments that's available as a paint from Daniel Smith Paints, which I have wanted to buy before, but found out that one of the pigments in it is not light fast, but the other two are. So if you paint something using this paint and it's exposed to sun, sort of ambient sunlight, like if it's just hung up on a wall or something for like a year, the red pigment will fade and you'll end up with a color that, instead of looking like that sort of grayish purple color that it's meant to be, will kind of become like a teal color, because all you have left is the ultramarine blue and the viridian. And I think that's kind of a shame, so I wanted to try and recreate it. And I think one of the colors that we made comes close, but they're all really pretty colors, so I just did all of my paintings using almost exclusively those in January. And it's just a really fun set to work with. I did add a couple of supplementary colors for this piece, because I wanted it to be a little bit less stylized and a little bit more naturalistic color-wise. Because I wasn't entirely sure how I'd approximate things like the blonde hair on the right there, because I didn't really have any yellows in that palette. So I had to bring in another set to kind of supplement color-wise. But apart from that, this one... Oh, I did also borrow a little bit of a sort of cleaner brown for the hamster's fur, but other than that, it's the Moon Glow set, which I think gives some really fun, like, granulation. You can kind of see it more in, like, the sort of close-up details here of the way that the pigments interact with each other when you put them down as a wash, which is a lot of fun to do. And I had a lot of fun working with those. Likewise, this one, you can really see the like color separation of the pigments, especially in sort of like the walls of this coffee shop, which again was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, anyways, what was this one? Oh, the shooting stars as well. This one was fun because I got to use my gold paints. I got to get a little metallic, which I love doing, but I find it really hard to display metallic paints online, because when you're not looking at it in like three-dimensional space, it is just really hard to see how like shimmery and like dimensional it looks. Like, oh my gosh, if you've ever gone and seen one of those big medieval paintings in like an art gallery or something, and it's got gold, it just pops. It's so beautiful. And you cannot capture that in like a photo of it. You just can't. Seeing it in person is like incredible. Anyways, Elov is lurking for food. But that being said, I think I'm probably gonna wrap up for today, because I do need to head out and make some din-dins. So I think I'm gonna do that now. And we'll get another shout out to Elov in the chat, because I can, hopefully. No, I can't, because I already did that. Aw, shoot. Well, never mind. Well, thank you to everyone who rated today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everyone who's stuck around or followed or done any of those things on what has been a really weird stream. But I've had a lot of fun regardless. I'm very excited to try and translate this little critter into an emote. I might, if I end up needing to crop it, I might also try and make a sticker of her and get her to say something silly for it, because I do like a stream sticker as well. We do have some stickers on stream, and they're fun to make and they're fun to look at. But yes, anywho, it's time for Meatball Monday, so I think I'm gonna head out now. Looking forward to playing more with these two colors and seeing how they interplay with each other. Ooh, seeing some interesting effects from these two pigments as they dry down, which is kind of cool and not quite what I expected, so that's interesting. But yeah, we'll be doing something a little bit more normal art-wise next time, so hopefully people will enjoy that. Normal art-wise next time. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good rest of your week, because I will be streaming again on Thursday. Let's see, who would I like to go raid today? Who have I not raided in a little while? I think I know who we're going to raid, because they were here earlier. And I haven't gotten to raid them in a little while, I don't think. So I'm going to send you to our friend Kirsty, who is a delightful human being if you don't know them. who's doing something in Clip Studio. What fun. Okay. Gonna get that. Hopefully get that going. I clicked start raid. Okay, it is working. Hooray. And thank you all for hanging out with me today. It's been very fun. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your everything. I'm very much looking forward to having some Swedish meatballs and mashed potatoes, as you do. I'm going to pop some ananas into the raid message. If you are subscribed, feel free to grab the emotes with the raid message. If you don't, you could just say generic raid message, or feel free to append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. I've had a lovely time hanging out with y'all today. I hope that you had a lovely time too. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. So looking forward to playing with these two colors next time. But in the meantime, thank you very much for hanging out. Have a good one. And yeah, where's my thanks for watching screen? There it is. Good night and good luck.